Hey peoples, so it took me a while to figure out how I felt about this movie, and at the end of the day, I'm gonna say I'm unfulfilled, and I'll explain why in a second. So starting from the beginning of the movie, Where'd You Go, Bernadette? The beginning is annoying. I hate these types of beginnings in movies. I think the last time I saw it was Escape Room, but basically you show us a point in the movie that is a future point, and then you say like some weeks earlier or a couple weeks earlier, a couple days earlier. Stop doing that. You've basically given us a spoiler in the movie. We know that the character is going to end up there now. We have no guesses about it. If it's a journey, we're not as surprised when we get there. If it's someone surviving something, we now know who survives or that they survive. It's not fun. Stop doing that. You're ruining the movie. It's a spoiler in your own movie. But yes, the movie starts off like that, where Bernadette is in, I believe, Antarctica. I could be wrong on location. It's a cold place. There are icebergs around. But then the movie tracks back and we meet Bernadette. She's an architect, but not an active one. We find out why later. But basically, she's cooped up in her house. She's perceived to be a strange woman. She doesn't like people. She has a husband. She has a daughter. And they live in this very big house with vines growing all over it. Her next door neighbor gets on her nerves because she complains about the vines. Turns out her next door neighbor's son goes to Bernadette's daughter's school as well. And the next door neighbor is a mom who basically is like that kind of uppity mom who would get on your nerves because she likes being important. She likes being in front of everybody. She likes being the center of attention and having power and like, you know, everyone come over my house. I'm going to have brunch and we're going to do this, or, oh, thank you for helping, but I don't like what you've made. How about you try this, which is basically my way or how I want it. And that's the type of person she is. Okay. And basically she talks about Bernadette in a negative way. Bernadette's daughter is basically her best friend. They hang out together, they enjoy each other's time. Bernadette picks her up from school and they spend time together. The daughter understands the mom understands the daughter, and that's a key relationship within the movie. The husband sucks. I hate him. Is he outright like a bad person? Like, no, he doesn't beat her. He's not rude to her. He sucks because basically he feels like he's drifted away from his wife, Bernadette, and that they're not close together, and things are just not the same as they used to be when he met her, and she's changed. She's become a different person. He doesn't recognize the woman he fell in love with. But the exact same time, while we learn this information from him, we learn why Bernadette is the way she is. We learn why she's not being an architect anymore, why she's not active. We learn why she's very closed off from people. We know why she's not sleeping well. We found out about her own history, medical reasons. We find out a lot of stuff that would mess up a person. And yet the husband seems to act like none of that happened, and he's just clueless as to why his wife has become what she's become. I'm like, were you there? Was somebody else in your place and you just where were you? Where were you? Yes, he works a lot. He works for Microsoft doing some tech stuff, but still, it makes no complete sense. But anyway, he stages an intervention which involves him, a psychiatrist, a FBI agent, which is a kind of side story that the husband rolls into this as in like upset about it, but it makes no sense. It's a side story. I won't get into it. And also the husband's assistant from the job, who also happens to have a son that goes to their daughter's school. And that lady's annoying. She has no reason to be in the room. I don't know why she's there. But anyway, so Bernadette goes to the bathroom and then escapes out the window, and she goes on a journey to Antarctica. So then the husband and the daughter go off to try to find her. So why I have that unfulfilled feeling, like I mentioned in the beginning of the review, is because she's in that location that they showed before in the beginning of the movie, where she's in Antarctica or some cold place. Sorry, I don't remember. There are penguins. But anyway, she's there. She's on an adventure, and then she hears about a project going down in another location. I believe it was the South Pole. Again, I could be wrong, but I believe it was the South Pole. They're building a new facility and she's excited about it. She wants to work on it. And you're like, okay, yes, let's start on this journey. You're with her. You're excited about this journey with her. And she starts, and then the movie ends. That's all. Between that, yes, the families reconnect and they have their loving moment and everything's fine again. But then she goes to the location, credits come up, and during the credits, we see the facility getting built, and that's all. We didn't get to experience that. The whole movie is about Bernadette, who is a strange woman because she's cooped up and she hasn't created, and she's had a struggling history of things in her past that are very serious and very life altering, and you want her to succeed, you want her to be happy. She sets off on this journey, you're with her on the journey. At the beginning of the journey, then it's over. Like, that's it. We never get to see her work. So basically it's a tell not show type of movie. We're told she's a great architect. They show us things that she's created, and they show a little documentary that shows us things she's created, but we don't get to see any of that, and that's the annoying part about the movie. But yeah, that's why I feel unfulfilled. The movie felt like it should have been a TV show where it kept going, maybe like a short series that's 9 episodes or 10 episodes, where we get to see her create, we get to see her build these things from beginning, from when she was like in school, in architectural school, and when she gets married, then her daughter, and just we get to see her grow. That would have been nice, but we're told all that through a video, and then we don't get to experience that with her. Okay, the actors were good for the most part. Everyone plays their role. I believe it was Cate Blanchett who plays Bernadette. She is great. I love her. I wish, when they said she was eccentric and strange, I wish we would have got more of that. The daughter doesn't really pull off the heavier lines as well, but you know, kid actors aren't, you know what? No, I used to say kid actors aren't that great, but the Stranger Things kids, they're doing a pretty good job. And that kid from Room. So yeah, she didn't pull off the lines, the emotional lines that well. And in regards to like the visuals, the movie's competently shot. It looks good. The only things that I would get annoyed at is that the father and daughter have a one-to-one conversation, and behind them feels like they're on a set, like it's green screen, like they're really not there. And also, if they're supposed to be in a cold climate like Antarctica or South Pole, wherever they were, I saw no one's breath. Like, no one's breath was coming out of their mouth when they were speaking. It was really strange. But it feels like a movie that is not fully baked, and there could have just been more things that happened. That's how I feel about it. Sorry for rambling on. Thank you for listening. As always, I really appreciate you guys for listening or sharing or commenting or anything. I really appreciate it. I added music in the last review with the Invader Zim review. If you want to send me background music, you can. I'll tag your name in the comments or whatever. But again, thank you for listening. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great day. God bless, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.